Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to the Shanghai Grand Prix. Right now we're first driver at Toro Rosso, and we are the blue line right above McLaren and Renault. We are third to last on paper. We're third in the Constructors' Championship. Pretty good R&D tree. There's no wear on the engine right now, so that's good. We are ninth in the Drivers' Championship. And I'll see you guys at the grid.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before the braking zone of turn 14. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant. And tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
The race minutes away from starting. Here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Weber, Valtteri Bottas and Butler, Vettel, Hamilton, Perez and Kimi Raikkonen, Hülkenberg, Stroll, the captain and Russell, Albon, Fiat, Daniel Ricciardo and Robert Kubica, Sainz and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
After the points finish last race,
So we are gonna change up some of our strategy right now. We're gonna do it so we're gonna have two stop this race, and we're gonna have 2 soft compound tires and 1 medium compound. So that will be a really fast race. Okay, we're lining up, and now it's the 5 red lights out at Shanghai. And Lance Stroll, the Canadians, on our right now. We're going to try to pass him at the first corner. We almost made contact with Nico Hülkenberg in his Mercedes, which has always been around us. We'll make some contact with the Canadian. Almost made contact with one of the Germans in this race. Above him, in front of Nico Hülkenberg in his Mercedes, is a racing point. And here's another view of that start that we get on the Canadian on the right. Yet a way better start than him, and we almost passed him on that, but we go wide into the turn, and it does not help us out. Then we can see we make contact right there. As we go into the second turn, we also make some more contact with him, but we finally get the move done at the little straight right here. As now we're trying to trace down Nico Hülkenberg as we dive bomb him, almost make contact with Romain Grosjean in his Haas, and then Kimi Raikkonen in his Haas, as that's Sergio Perez right there in front of him. So I'm trying to make a move. Oh, we got to brake a little bit earlier than we're supposed to right there, just because we don't want to make contact. We're really trying to get him to move, but they're really just trying to get that position. Here we go, we're going to make a move around Kimi Raikkonen as we dive bomb and then try to get Sergio Perez too. We make contact with the Mexican, but we get the position and we only get a warning for making that contact. We get a super dirty move right there. In front of us is Lewis Hamilton in his Alfa Romeo, which is a really fast car on the grid, but we need to get a better position than him because they're second in the Constructors' Championship. As now we have Kimi Raikkonen trying to pass us on the long straight, as now we're going into the last turn down here. And that's still Lewis Hamilton. We're gaining a little bit on him each lap. Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. and we are gonna go first lap P8. That's not that bad. As now we're here on the long straight at the second lap, and Kimi Räikkönen is chasing us down again, and it's gonna try to move around us. We try to go defensive, but he still is gonna do it, and we brake later than him and still keep the position. And now we're here at the third lap of the Grand Prix, and Kimi Räikkönen is still there trying to chase us down and get a move on us at the long straight. He has DRS this lap. We're going to give him the outside line, but we're going to brake later than him. We're going to a little bit sliding right there. Ooh, we're really sliding. As now we're going on to the fourth lap, and Kimi Räikkönen is still there trying to chase us down in P9. He's going to try to go on the inside line. We brake later than him. He's still there. He's still there. He's still there. We have a better exit than him, and we are still going to keep position. So now we go into the last corner. Here's another view of that as we slide a lot right there. Kimi Räikkönen goes on our inside, but we keep that position. We hit the cone and just send it flying. As there's Sergio Perez in the background right there with Lance Stroll. As now we go into, we're still on the fourth lap right here. As we set our red lap time, which is not that good. Danielle is not too far behind us, but he is in like P14, so that's not too good. As Kimi Räikkönen tries to send it up our inside, he does do it, but we're gonna get the inside line. We set a tire in the grass right there, but we squeeze him off and we get that position back. Lewis Hamilton has a problem with his car. As here we go on the long straight, Kimi Räikkönen again is trying to pass us. He does pass us, but we're going to do a switchback move and go on the inside line. He has a lockup. We almost make contact with Kimi Räikkönen, and we get back to P8. There's a lot of doing this. Here's another view of the starting line right here. Need to go down it. There's Sergio Perez right behind us. Although Sergio Perez trying to pass the Haas of Kimi Räikkönen, but we get this. We have to go into the pits for our second softs. Because behind us, Kimi Räikkönen comes into the pits with us, very unexpected. As now, who is he gonna pass us in the pit lane? Well, he goes into pits and we go into the pits now. It's a 2.089 second pit, and we are still in the same position as we go out onto the track. But Lewis Hamilton pit with us for the hards. He's gonna have some really bad tire wear in this Grand Prix, but unless he pits for the second time, but I don't think he will. As we are now in P20, P18, or P20, P19, and P18. The last two, I have no clue who's in front of Lewis Hamilton. I'm guessing it's Pierre Gasly, and is preparing as we send it at the inside of Lewis Hamilton, and we get to P18 now. So no, it is not Pierre Gasly in front of us. I think it's Devin Butler in front of us. As now we go on to lap 8. As now there's Sergio Perez right there in front of us. We're gonna pass him by a lot in our new really fast soft compound. But I'm surprised we didn't really set a good lap time so far. As we go to our pits for our second time, almost make contact with that wall, as I think we're the only person going into the pits besides the people in front of us. There's Pierre Gasly in front of us, as Kimi Räikkönen passes him. There's still Gasly in front of us. I believe that is Gasly right there. He's coming out. And we're going to go into the pits to get our medium compound tires on lap 14 of this race. This has been a very exciting race so far. I did not expect this out of this race. As we come on into the pits, in P20 by a lot, but we should catch up to him because we have the faster compound tires. He is on the hards, and we are on the mediums. As here we are on lap 14, our teammate Danilo Kvyat is in the pits. As now, we cannot see Pierre Gasly right now, but we will be able to see him on the second to last turn on lap 14. As you can see, he's right there. He's pretty close, but also pretty far. As nobody's behind us yet, but will we pass anybody on this lap? Probably not. As we go to the last turn of lap 14. And here we go. Are we going to pass anybody in the pits?
Our gap to the car in
Really
front
not,
is
but we set a purple
1.9 seconds.
last sector. As now we go on to, we're here on lap 15, behind Pierre Gasly, and that is, oh, Kimi Räikkönen's at a Grand Prix, and it's a safety car out. This cannot be my career race without a safety car, apparently, because we had 3 safety cars within 3 races of the my career series. So on the restart lap, the person in front, which I think is Charles Leclerc, is going really slow. And here we go. Let's resume racing, but we have to go into the turn before we do resume racing, as Pierre Gasly is going to get a better exit than us, and he's going to pull a little bit away from us, but we should be able to catch him because we have a faster car. As now, here we go into the last corner, and the green flags are out, and we are back to racing as Pierre Gasly, we're chasing down Pierre Gasly for the first turn. Are we going to try to do a dive bomb? No, we are not, but here we are on this dive bombing corner as we try to dive bomb the Frenchman, and we do almost squeeze him out, and then we are squeezed out, as now we are in P18 out of P19. Here's a preview of that, of our move on Pierre Gasly right there, the Frenchman. That I believe that is Danny Ricciardo or Carlos Sainz in his Renault in front of us. As there we go. And here we go. We actually did seal Pierre Gasly's seat. So here we go. We dive bomb on the Australian here, and we get the move. Now it's Sainz in front of us, and that is not. We have no damage on the front wing, which is really good. We're gonna have. Are we gonna have DRS? No, we are not gonna have DRS yet. But the slipstream is so much powerfulness as we kind of make some contact with Carlos Sainz, the Spaniard, as we try to go on the inside. But he has apparently a faster car on the turns. But he pushes us off into the grass. We get the move done around the outside of the Spaniard. And now we are here in P16. As it's now lap 28, we're going to try to make a move on Kubica. As we do make some contact with him, just for good measure. And now it's our teammate Daniel Kvyat back here in P14, and we're in P15. So here's a different perspective of that view of the overtake. And here we go behind. Oh, the 2 Renault wrecks are going by side too. As here we go. Then now we're trying to make a move, but we don't. As here is a little thing of me and Daniel fighting it out right there. That is, I think that's George Russell in front of him. It might not be. No, it is Sergio Perez in front of him, as we make some contact with him. And now we go into the last corner of lap 20. Just lap 20, yeah. Gets a DRS on this straight. Daniel got DRS too because he was behind us. As here we go onto the second turn, trying to get closer to the Mexican as Lando Norris is out of the session. As maybe we can see him. Oh, Charles Leclerc is too. And oh, we just missed him. He's just right there, sitting in the little truck. I'm surprised there was no VSC. This is a virtual safety car, and it's yellow flags. It's just yellow flags, and now it's green flag back to racing. As we keep going, we're trying to chase down the Mexican here as we're in P12 now. We get DRS in our straight, which will help us out, but we'll be able to pass the Mexican, and we do pass the Mexican on the second last turn on lap 21 of this Grand Prix. As now we're going to hope Daniel gets into the points positions as we trace down Lewis Hamilton in his Alfa Romeo, which he still has a problem in. It's the fastest lap time right there. And we try to overtake him, but we have to brake a little early to avoid making contact with him. As now, we almost made contact with the Brit right there. And are we going to get up to Lewis Hamilton? I think that's Devin Butler in the Haas who finished from better position last race. So we're going to try to get him because he also is in a Haas. So are we going to get points positions? We squeeze him out. Don't make any contact though. Like I said, we don't make contact with Devin Butler either, which is very weird. for me because I usually make contact, almost make contact with Devin Butler right there. We're going to get DRS on him. We're behind him, but he is going to get DRS too. As here we go on to the last, to the first turn of lap 24. We go a little bit wide into it, but we still stick the position as we make some contact with Lewis Hamilton, and he goes off the circuit. As now Daniel Kofia is behind us, our teammate in P11. Maybe he can pass Devin Butler as we send it up the inside of him. Make some contact, but we're still going to keep on that position. We only get a warning for that. Here's a different perspective of that, of the highlights, as we go down to this little mini chicane right here. As we make some contact with him, and then we go. There's Daniel right there behind him with Sergio Perez.
Right, so we've been looking at the damage.
As here's Lance Stroll, who started one position better than us, but we are going to probably pass him, as that is George Russell in the Rocket Williams car right there, which is also very surprising because he is one of the worst cars on the grid. Well, no, he's not, but he's a pretty bad car. So for him to be up this far is also like just us. As we go, are we gonna make a dive bomb? No, we are not gonna make a dive bomb because we do not make contact with either one of them. As Devin Butler is chasing us back down to try to get back his position. As here we are on lap 27, almost at the last lap of the Grand Prix, as we make some contact with Lance Stroll, and we get into the next position, which is P8 now, which is not too bad. A position for Toro Rosso, the third worst team on paper. As here we go, I think is that Daniel behind us, or who is that behind us? It's Devin Butler battling with Lance Stroll right there. As we go down to try to chase down Valtteri Bottas for the last lap of the Grand Prix. As here we go to the last turn of lap 27, kind of cornered that to get a little bit closer. As here we go on the inside of Valtteri Bottas, and then it's George Russell, the Brit, who's pulling away in the Rocket Williams car. As we do get that maneuver to work, and here we go, almost make contact with the Rocket Williams car. And here's a different view of us going down that incline. As here we are back on to lap 28. As here we're going to try to chase down George Russell. We'll get to P6, but we have P7 right now, which is not too bad, if I say so myself. I think Daniel is really close behind us too, but Valtteri Bottas will probably not get overtaken because he is a faster car than us. As here we go into the last couple turns of this Grand Prix until the long straight. Here is the almost flat out turn, the turn 13, as we probably will not get DRS here as we are low on fuel, but we will not go into low fuel mode. Even so, we probably won't get passed by Valtteri Bottas. Oh no, sorry, Devin Butler behind us now. As he passes them right before Max Verstappen wins the Grand Prix because Charles Leclerc DNF'd, which was a very not gonna happen thing. Max Verstappen wins his first Grand Prix of the season as we get P7. Here's a view of the finish line. With everyone behind us, we were super close together. That's Sergio Perez right there. P7, which is very good, since we did have a lot of excitement in this Grand Prix.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a
Max Verstappen really deserved that one because he's been trying so hard, and he kind of got it robbed off him in the Australian Grand Prix because he DNF, but now he got his first win, which is way better, as I think Mercedes will pass us in the standings, as we now finish the Chinese Grand Prix. We got, oh, that's me right there. On speed.
I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium.
So Max Verstappen got first, then it's Lucas Weber, our old F2 teammate, and it's Sebastian Vettel in the Alfa Romeo car in third. Very good performance for Mercedes and Racing Point, except Sergio Perez got no points, which he might be kicked off the team soon, as they should be performing really well, as we have Alfa Romeo Racing right here.
Driver standings. Not the
In
results
third.
our points leader wanted, but it
So
certainly
let's
makes
see
things
the
interesting
standings as
going
we are now
forward.
P6
So,
in the
Anthony
championship
Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
It's an
34
interesting one
points
today. On
behind
balance,
the
I think I
leader
have
of
to call out
Charles
Alexander
Leclerc.
Albon.
So we're
A
not out
really
of this
solid drive from him today, and one that he and his team should
championship
be
yet.
proud of.
It's time to check
But
out the constructors'
who
standings.
passed us in
No
the
change in the top
championship in the
spot, but
constructors'
with today's
standings?
points, their
As we are
hold
now
on the lead is
fifth.
getting weaker.
Racing
There was
Point
also a
passes us
strong
because we
showing from the
got a
Mercedes
second,
team today
and
as they
Mercedes
make their
passes
way
us
up
because
the
they got a
standings.
first.
And with that, we
As
wrap up another
Ferrari
weekend
gets
of
a little bit
motorsport.
closed down because
But
they have
with
no
more
points
races
for the
lined
Grand
up,
Prix.
be
And
sure to
Alfa
join
Romeo
us
also
when
gets a
we
little
come back
closer
with
because
more
Lewis
Formula
Hamilton
One.
got no points. Goodbye, guys.